Okay, yeah. Wait, this is a video? Full house. I like this.
But then 3 months
I'm
later,
taking a
I missed my
video.
period and took a pregnancy test that came out positive. I was so scared. I didn't know how my parents would react if they knew their teen daughter was going to be a mom. So I didn't tell them. Instead, I started eating more food to gain weight, so they wouldn't notice my belly growing. I'd always been a bit chubby, but now I was getting seriously overweight. My parents called me fat and lazy, and even Conan told me I should lose weight, or he'd stop seeing me. It was horrible, but still 10 times better than my dad knowing I was pregnant. I didn't even tell Conan about the baby until my daughter my parents posted about it. I took an Uber to the hospital, called them on the name. He came immediately, and I apologized for not telling him earlier. So I asked him to call my parents and tell them about the baby. I was so nervous when he said, "Hey, I'm Conan, and I'm your daughter's boyfriend. She's at the hospital and just about to have a baby. She really needs you for your support." I'd never been more frightened. He screamed at me, "You've brought shame onto our family. You are a disgrace." I was sobbing my eyes out, but Dad put his face up close to mine and hissed, "Don't ever come back to our house. We don't ever want to see you again." I thought Mom would forgive me, but she fought with my dad. Then I could have at least gone back. But his mom blamed me for Conan moving away. When she heard he left, she screamed at me for hours, then kicked me out in the middle of the night. It was cold, and I had no money for a hotel. Because I had nowhere else to go, I went back to my parents' house. I rang the bell and my father answered the door. He said, "Dad, I've got nowhere to live. And no money. Can you help?" He just looked at me like I was hurt, slammed the door in my face. What could I do? I didn't know where to go, and Olivia needed diapers and food. I decided to break in through the window to my old room. After all, my parents never knew that's how I snuck out to meet Conan. When I got into my old room, I started crying. My parents had thrown out all of my things. My room was completely empty, not even a bed to sleep in. I tiptoed in the living room. I knew Dad kept a piggy bank there, and I managed to find a few $100s. I also took another $50 from his wallet. After I got outside again, I used my smartphone to find a woman's shelter. But it wasn't what I expected. Most of the women had drug problems, and during my second night there, someone stole the money I'd taken from my dad. It was tough, but I realized I had it better than most of those girls. Many had mental disorders or substance problems. I knew I didn't belong there. I was well educated and hardworking. There was no way I was going to let Olivia grow up in an environment like this. I knew I had to get a job. But who'd take care of my baby? Well, I made friends with a girl called Sarah at the shelter. She also had a little girl, and told me how she'd grown up going from one foster family to...
When I was 30, my mom gave me an odd-looking bracelet and told me that it was for good luck. Since
to the next. Most of them treated her very badly, and when she was 15, her boyfriend convinced her to rob a kiosk with him. She got caught and put into a youth detention facility for 6 months. When she got out, she started seeing the same guy again and got pregnant. But when she said she didn't want to commit any more crimes because of the baby, he dumped her. I could see she was a really good mom. So I asked her if she wanted to share an apartment with me. I'd get a job and she'd look after the babies. She immediately said yes, and I quickly found a job as a barista. I couldn't complain, even though I was only paid $1,500 a month, which wasn't much to pay all the bills for 2 babies and adults in the U.S. But because I worked really hard, they promoted me to assistant manager within a few months. Suddenly, I was making $2,000 a month, working 40 hours a week. But then Sarah became a problem. She was always asking for more and more money. I started to suspect she was an addict. When I asked her, though, she denied it, but she really didn't look healthy. One day, when I got home from work, no one was there. I started to worry and called Sarah. I said, "Hey, where are you guys?" She didn't answer. Instead, she said, "Can you give me $300? Meet me at the park with the money, and you'll get your daughter back." I said, "Of course, I'll be there in 30 minutes. I didn't have $300, so I had to overdraft my bank account. I didn't want to think about what would happen if I didn't give Sarah the money. She gave me back my daughter when I gave her the cash. But there was no way I could live with Sarah anymore. I found a new apartment and applied for a loan to help with childcare. I had a stable income now, so the bank gave me $10,000. It was enough to put my daughter into kindergarten. Suddenly, I was working 9 to 5, and I enrolled myself in an online university too. I'd pick my daughter up after work, and then spend 4 hours every evening studying coding. I gotta admit, it wasn't fun, but the work ethic my parents taught me really helped. And after just 1 year of study, I got a job offer at a small software company. Now I'm making $40,000 a year, even though I'm only 17. I also met a guy at work. He was 22, and I thought he was awesome. At first, I didn't tell him about my daughter. I was ashamed of myself for being a single teen mom. But he seemed so sweet that when he asked me out for coffee, I decided I first had to tell him about my daughter. Unfortunately, he didn't take the news well. He said, "Really? That's fine." But I could tell by his tone he didn't like it. And afterward, he never talked to me again. You have no idea how tough it is to find a guy my age who's ready for a serious relationship. But that's what my daughter needs. It's lonely sometimes, but Olivia will always come first. By the way, my mom recently called me. She said she was sorry for throwing me out, but my dad was still mad and didn't want to see me. I told her, "I don't want to see him or you. You kicked me out when I needed you most. You aren't my parents anymore." Mom started crying, but I didn't want any more drama, so I hung up.